Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Diane and I garden here in the northeast of England, right on the coast. And I'm very excited about today's video because my new greenhouse has been delivered. We've installed it in the garage. It came in kit form, it's wooden, and today I'm going to start painting it. So I hope you enjoy the video. So we've made room in the garage to put, well, as much room as we possibly could, because that's where I'm going to paint all of the wooden frames. Very rainy day for the arrival of the greenhouse in September. I'm so pleased we tidied the garage out. And then I'll have a nice dry space where I can just take my time and paint everything. Am I making you really self-conscious?
No.
So here we are in the garage. Very lucky to have this space because I've read the instructions on the paint, and like any outside paint, it's a case of don't paint outside if rain is imminent, which is quite frequent up here at the moment. So I can just take all the time I need to paint in the garage, even though it's very squished, but I am lucky to have the space. So I'm just going to speed the film up as I usually do and show you me painting all of this wood with the first coat. So the greenhouse has been delivered in kit form. It's already been pressure treated, so it's all ready to paint. The paint says a recommended minimum of 2 coats. I know I'm going to paint at least 3 or 4 coats of this. So I'll do the front of one panel, then I'll move it, do the next one, and then when that's all dry, I'll turn them around, paint the other side. You may have watched the video where I say that I'm going to paint the greenhouse black. I've since changed my mind, so I'm going to paint it this beautiful willow green. Well, it's English willow. I'm not advertising the paint because I've never used it before, and I'll give you my verdict when it's completely painted, and we'll see how it's done. But it got great reviews, this, and I researched paint for a wooden greenhouse extensively before buying that, and this got the best reviews. So right, I'll speed the film up as I usually do. You'll probably only see me over the next week do the first coat because I think that's the most impressive. After that, it'll be incredibly boring for you because I'll just be going green over the top of green numerous times. So, right, let's get cracking. Oh, I'm loving the colour of that paint already. Love it. my initial verdict on the colour. I love it. Obviously I'm putting on just the first thin coat. It's much better to paint a number of thin coats than one thick coat. So I'm going to go along the top rail now, and then try to sort of move this somewhere else so I can paint the rest of it. I'm liking the paint. It's nice and creamy. It's not too drippy. So yeah, all good. So it's become very apparent that it's going to take me days and days to paint all of this wood. I haven't even opened the polythene on the sort of bars of wood yet, and I've got loads more window frames to paint. So if you're thinking of getting a wooden greenhouse and painting it, do not underestimate the amount of painting that you will have to do. But if you're someone like me who, well, A, I like painting things and changing them, but B, I know what I'm like, and I can see myself in a couple of years' time painting this black or whatever. I think it's just so worth it. I absolutely love it. And there is no better time, as time consuming as it is at the moment, there is no better time, I know, to get into all the nooks and crannies, the crevices and everything with the paint than now, when it's in kit form in the dry of the garage. This will be a whole different scenario when this greenhouse is erected and it's got all of its glass in. That will be a nightmare to paint that. So so yes, I'll take the camera off the tripod and I'll show you up close what the paint's like. Just such a pretty colour, but you can see, you know, I'm painting in line with the grain of the wood, but it's just sinking in. And what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll show you what it's like with its second coat. So the protective coating had come away here, so I've just gone down the side with some tape so that I can paint right into those crevices there. Okay, so I've had some lunch and a cup of tea, so I'm refreshed. I've got all of the frames painted their first coat on one side. Normally, if I was doing internal paintwork, you wouldn't lean up against newly painted wood, but because this is a rougher timber to go outside, I'm happy with that. It's just touching it little bits. So I'll show you where we're at. So I've got things balanced up everywhere. So this side is painted. So I'll paint the other side of everything now, before I open these packets here, because I'm not entirely sure what this black bit is there. But I've got a feeling it's going to be very tricky to paint if that is sort of black rubber or something, because I'll not want the paint to go on the rubber anyway. So I'm just going to go around methodically, turning everything round and painting the other side, and then I know by tonight that everything's had one coat apart from them. And I'm really impressed with how the second coat looks when it's on. Really good coverage. So if you can have a look, I'll take the camera down. So there's a side by side, that's one coat there, and that's the second coat. So this is the outside edge of the greenhouse. And what I forgot to do yesterday was get some wood filler. But what I'm thinking is I'll go and wood filler all these little screw holes here, because what you don't want is you don't want the weather and the rain to get into any little holes and rot your wood. So it'll look much better when they're all filled in. So if you are wondering where the greenhouse is, I got 2 coats of the green on, which took weeks, and then I have changed my mind and I want to paint it black. So I'm currently halfway through giving it its first coat of black. So I'll finish the first coat, give it a second coat, and that'll mean the greenhouses have 2 coats of green, 2 coats of black, so it should be well and truly protected against the weather. So that's it. It's all painted black. So it's had 2 coats of green, 2 coats of black. I'm delighted that it's done. I'm really pleased with the finish. It is due to rain again today, but we're supposed to get a dry day tomorrow and a dry day next Tuesday. So hopefully, I can't see it happening tomorrow, but hopefully next Tuesday we'll start constructing the greenhouse. The paving stones that we're putting them on, if you want to come down the garden, because it hasn't stopped raining here for, it must be getting on a fortnight. The garden is saturated. I've just noticed these, all the peonies are over, and you can see how wet the paving is. So I would love it if when we put it down it's dry. I don't know whether that makes any difference. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. It may have been the most boring video you've ever watched, watching paint dry. But anyway, so stay tuned, come back and you'll see us constructing the greenhouse here. Bye.